start us off.
Not me.
I'm not the band.
I'm not starting it.
I'll start it.
Oh my god.
There you go.
Go with the drums. There we go.
Let's fire this shit up.
That's right.
There we go. Yeah! Here we go. 1, 2, up and down, till my world spinning round. I ain't asking for much. I said, I'll take it downtown. I'm just looking for some touch. Man, I've been good down in Texas. I ain't asking for much. I said, Lord, take me downtown. I'm just looking for some touch. Sunday, boy. Take me back, way back home. I'm by myself, not alone. No, I ain't asking for much. I said, Lord, take me downtown. I'm just looking for some touch. Yeah.
You know, today is International Women's Day. And I thought at Live in the Dutch Hall, what better thing to do than give a little treat for the ladies, you know? Why don't we, give them some good old Norfolk County blues to get their butts moving on International Women's Day? Because that's the international language of women is the boogie, is what I think. We got the best band in Norfolk County to do it, maybe in the world. I don't know. That's arguable. The Jesse Murphy Trio is here tonight.
Sounds fucking great.
And you know what? We are Canada's only late night podcast, so we just can't just stick with one great guest. We also have comedian Chris Beck here tonight. It's a star-studded lineup, everybody, but there's only one way to get it started. And you know what that is, Michael?
No, what is that, Peter?
And that's our goddamn theme song.
Oh. You ain't asking for much, Pete.
I'm just when it makes sense.
But we're going to send this goddamn theme song at the right time.
Yes. Bum, bum, bum.
Bam, bam. Right now we're going to send it. Yeah, you even got the rattle in there. Ready, boys? Hey. Woo.
Welcome, everybody, to Live from the Dutch Hall. We are Canada's only late-night talk show and the greatest podcast ever to come out of a pool shed in Pine Grove, Ontario. Bar none. And we are that way because we have the greatest band in Canadian late-night history, the Nocturnal Emissions. This week, completely stacked. Another super group today, comprised of Mike, our band leader, Bo. Listen to the applause.
Crazy.
People are going crazy for you. It's unbelievable.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen.
There we go. Beside him, the man that writes music for the show, he's got a new haircut, and we all really Have something to talk about. It's Dave the Rooster Chargers, everyone. Yeah, there he is. There he is. In the corner position on lead guitar with a new board, a new toy to play with. Steve the Reluctant German, everybody.
Hi, Willie. Hi,
Steven!
That's your wine wave you get. And beside him are the balls of the Nocturnal Emissions, back where he belongs, ripped from Dave Charter's greasy hands.
Swing low.
Whiskey Wes Hagens is here, everyone. And for his first time in the Nocturnal Emissions, we have, from the Jesse Murphy Trio, Jesse Murphy himself.
Hey!
How are you?
All right.
And tickling the skins, Dylan Cunningham, everyone.
Hey, Dylan. Yeah!
And beside him, ripped of his microphone, made fun of for his haircut, just completely savage since he walked in here. But the balls of the Jesse Murphy Trio, nonetheless. And now the other set of balls. We have 4 balls.
4
tonight.
balls. Lots of balls.
Lots of balls. Eric Brousseau, everyone. And at the bar tonight is stacked. It's stacked lineup tonight. Not only do we have our director, my brother, Paul Van Dyke. Just give him a round of applause, Paul Van Dyke.
On the ball tonight.
He's back from his travels.
Nailing it.
Nailing it. We have something to talk about today with him. That's for sure. But beside him is our guest from Brantford.
Good old friend.
He trudged through the flooded wreckage of Brantford
He made it.
and made it here tonight. Chris Pick, everyone.
Chris, yay!
And in our super fan slot tonight is a good buddy of mine, and he's also been a former star of the show. In the was it Super Dads, or I think it was Super Dads episode.
yeah.
Jeff Clunder is back, everyone. Jeff Clunder.
Yay!
Now we have your 2-time President's Club Award winner.
2 times.
2-time. Pete Van Dyke.
Hey, Paulie. I love how he's building his resume every week.
That
Eh?
was awesome.
He is building his resume every week.
What
every
was
week.
that?
You think, oh, he's just a bartender. He's just going to sit there and say the C word all the time and make the girls uncomfortable. No, not Paul. He's a goddamn director right now. Look at him. He's got a level of authority in the room.
Fucking business.
He's business, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
You guys saw the professionalism right away when you came in.
I can't tell what he's looking at. His eyes are just kind of forever closed.
Yeah. You want to know why?
Because he's looking at everything at the same time.
That's right. He's such wisdom. He looks within himself.
Yes.
Yeah. Paul, I'm happy to have you back from Panama. We sent you, the Dutch Hall listeners sent you to Panama because we need to find out a perspective on the world. Because if I stick in Norfolk County too long, we end up being idiots because we don't know. We just take our like Mike's word for it, whatever it's like, you know. That's why we send you guys away, so you don't end up stupid that you just listen to your neighbor all the time. So you went to Panama. What'd you learn?
They should pick up their garbage.
What is this? Is this
That
a
was
a strike on Panama? You come back from a vacation and you come and
Well,
you're
you
just
know.
attacking them.
Well, that's what I learned. That if you don't if you don't pick up your garbage and recycle, it just piles up.
It's no good.
Son of a bitch.
Well, that's good. He traveled a long way to learn that. Thank you, Paul.
least-
I'm sure everybody that donated via Patreon is thrilled. Yeah.
But other than that, it was great. Great trip.
Oh, thank you. Now, Michael,
Yes.
you're another one. We sent you on hiatus. You had one mission. Do you remember what your mission was?
Yeah, to go to the top of a mountaintop, hammered,
Well, yes.
and see if I could ski down it. Was
No,
that-
no.
Oh, because I did that.
Oh, well, you kind of. So what we wanted you to do was, we asked you to go to a very high point on the earth
Okay, did that. Check.
and look and try to see what it looks like. Describe to us what it looks like when you're really drunk.
Oh, okay.
So did you? Oh shit! Did you accomplish that?
Yeah, I did accomplish that. It looks beautiful. It looks a bit intimidating,
Yeah.
especially when you're in the clouds.
You're in the clouds,
At
drunk.
points. Yeah, there was a point where we went up a lift into a cloud that we could not see the top of the mountain that we were going to ski down.
What?
No shit.
Yeah, it was a bit intimidating, that
point.
And then did you come out of the cloud?
Yeah, when we came out, it was reassuring that we're still on
Holy
land.
fuck.
This is great.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was pretty. It was an.
Are you a
experience.
good skier?
I would say that I can go down a real mountain and not kill myself. I wouldn't say I'm good. I'm learning.
Was
though.
that your first time down a real mountain?
No, I've been out west once before, and that taught me a lot. This time wasn't as quite as like steep. It was more like different terrain, so you learned a lot. And I skied in like deep snow for the first time.
Did you see any animals?
Besides the guys I was with?
Yes.
No, I don't think I did.
No, just
Too
wondering.
high for the animals.
Yeah,
It is high.
They're
for them.
hibernating.
There's thin up.
yeah, it was fucking cold. Like it was minus, I think 25 the first day we went up. So they told us if you're cold going up the lift, like you kind of are cold because there was no gondola, which was weird because it's like 15 minutes to go up the hill.
15 minutes. How long
And,
did it take you to get down?
Yeah, like 20.
Holy.
Yeah, 20. Depends what you do.
You were up there.
Yeah, it was an experience. So they say if you're cold going up, and you're gonna sweat your nuts off getting down. So that's a nice balance.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So
they were
you're-
right. They were right.
So you get yourself nice and cold so you can warm up on the way
You warm
down.
up on the way down because you're fucking working
That
hard.
makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
because there's
really.
times where you think you're gonna die.
Really?
Yeah, like I was talking to a few of my skidooing buddies after I got back, and they're like, they talk about how like they're going like 120. I think we're up over 70, and you're at the point where you're like going so fast that you can die if you fuck up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like. I mean, that's something I don't seek out. Do you guys seek that out? Like thrills, like adrenaline rush?
Not me.
No.
Like the peril of dying at any possible moment. No.
No.
But you get it.
Fucking no.
But you seek the adrenaline from performing, maybe. Do you get it?
Yeah.
I think.
Oh yeah,
I-
for sure.
Yeah, man, you get it from performing, for sure.
Yeah.
So that way I don't have to climb up a mountain, sweat my balls off. On the way.
Yeah.
You know
I
what
like
mean?
climbing a mountain. I just like falling down without control. You know.
I think
That's
it's
really
the-
scary.
Yeah, we had
The
a few- we had a
idea
few
of
of those.
falling down is enough for me to just not do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
That is it. Seriously,
Right?
that's the way I think too. Now I didn't used to.
Yeah.
But you know what that reminds me of?
up, Pete?
Last year, when I did something that I was terrified of, which was play in the Van Dyke hockey tournament.
There
And
you
some
go.
people might call today International Women's Day, but I don't. I call it the eve of the Van Dyke hockey tournament. And
That's a big Eve.
it's the big
It's
eve
men-
of tomorrow
mental
night.
preparation.
So let's just cut the shit and get right to it. This is the greatest thing that's ever happened to anyone in the history of everything, right? It's so much fun, right?
We get to do it again.
Yeah, this is gonna be so much fun. We're going just a whole hockey team full of the Van Dyke first cousins. This is Van Dyke Party Services at its very finest.
Training.
This is what we do to prepare
Right.
in case we ever get a gig to make our sponsors at Clean Flow proud.
It could happen.
Oh, I actually have a mug. Van Dyke Party Services. Don't live your life in regret.
Exactly.
You're actually doing another hockey tournament?
Yeah, we're not
Yeah.
joking.
Yeah. Are you in the B division again?
No, D.
We went to D. We had a new strategy this time so we wouldn't get into a fight of any
Well, that's
sort.
where all the other goons are in the D.
In D?
Are you in D because they didn't have E League?
No, there's
Well,
E.
There's E League?
Oh, yeah.
is there E?
No
yeah.
way.
Can't we be in that one?
No, no.
Is that for the kids with like the metal,
Yes.
the walkers and?
That's special E.
So you guys are like
That's next
just
year.
above
Yeah, that's next year.
the kids with the
We'll
walkers.
see how this year goes.
Where
Yeah,
were-
we might get kicked out of E this year or D this year.
Yeah, our goal is to like play at least 3 full games.
Oh, yeah.
Last year we made 2 and 1 quarter.
Was it a quarter of the
Yeah,
game?
I think we made a quarter.
Well, that was really sad that when it was over, I was so happy. I was like, thank God. Like, we get to go in and get changed. Because I was scared to death. I can't skate at all. Like, I can barely skate. These guys, there were some really good hockey players everywhere, and some of them were on friggin' MDMA. And it's telling us this. I don't even know what that does to you. You know, so I'm like, holy shit. I'm barely trying to stand up, and like these fucking guys are whizzing past me and like fucking saying they're gonna kill me and stuff.
Yep.
I'm like, holy mackerel, they're taking it serious.
That's accurate.
Yeah. But we're doing it again tomorrow.
We're going to try it again.
Pete, where's your speed skating roots?
My ski, yeah, I know. I think I would be a good speed skater. I think I can skate. Like I just can't stop or turn. You know. That's the hard part. I think I have the speed skating,
Straight
the
track. You're a
Dutchness of
straight
it.
track guy.
Too much Hungarian in me.
All of the most important parts of skating. You can't do. So stopping.
Oh, stopping.
You know where
I'm
we're in-
Mr. Toe Pick. I'm just like toe picking around the net. Who's that guy?
And going into this tournament, you didn't even practice this year.
No, we did practice.
We had a tryout.
We had a tryout, and I scored 2 goals. Thank you very much. And the performance of my lifetime.
Sniper.
We do an annual Christmas skate, Chris.
Yeah, we do a Christmas skate just to make sure that we're get the rust off.
Yeah.
Literally off my skates from last
With
year.
sandpaper.
Yeah.
You know what you're missing though is we're in the A division off the ice.
Oh yeah.
Let's not
yes.
forget that.
Yes. And you know, Charters, I don't like that you're on this team, and you know that. I've been clear from the beginning. I don't like you married my cousin. I said it at your wedding. I said it at your wedding, Dave, in front of everyone that you love. Remember?
Yep. All 400 people. I know it.
So I don't. But I gotta tell you, Charters, I'm sharing a hotel room with you. That's how much. That's how much I'm disturbed by this, and I still am enjoying it. But Charters, you are a hell of a good time on these trips.
Yeah.
You never don't have
I'm
a good
excited.
time. You know what? It's his dad, Jim. That's why Charters
right.
is the way he
It's
is.
in my DNA.
Yeah, your dad never has a bad time. If you go with Jim Charters, I don't know. Do you guys know Dave's dad at all?
Never met him.
Can't say
Never had the
Oh my
pleasure.
God, man! You guys got to meet Charters' dad.
We'll bring him out to a show.
Oh, he would love it. Seriously.
Oh yeah, you would love.
Yeah, he would
VIP
actually.
access.
He would love it. You know what? How
Probably
old
be
is
on
your dad?
stage.
How old is your dad?
He's 70, 40, 76.
No, is he 76 for reals?
Yeah. Well, he'll be 76 this year. Yeah.
So he's 75.
Yeah, 75 right now.
Don't lie about don't make him older. than he has to be.
75.
So 75, Jim. Not a gray hair on his head. Is that true?
Yeah. That's mostly true.
Is that?
They're all on his balls.
Does he wear a toupee?
No, full
No.
head of
Really?
thick, black,
Thick.
robust hair.
God
It's
damn.
it's impressive.
Yeah,
man.
that's amazing.
Man.
Yeah, you look at it, you're like, wow, man,
Yeah.
that's an old man with like a just like it is impressive. Like
Oh yeah. Not a care in the world. That's why.
Yeah.
He does not give 2 shits.
I go to volleyball tournaments all the time with my daughters, and there's this guy that goes to volleyball tournaments as well. His kid must play as well, but he's got the fucking worst toupee ever. And I always say to my one daughter when I see him, I always go like, I love that guy's hat. And then she has to look at him and then go like, God, it's him again.
What would it take? How much money would it take for you to just call it right out?
Just
For
to say,
everybody.
call that guy out on his toupee.
Yeah, man. Just be like, hey, how much was that? Just in front of the whole team, how much would it take?
No, I wouldn't do it ever for any man's money. I'll tell you that's the truth.
Really?
Yeah, because there's nothing to gain from that.
No?
I would just be little. Sure, it'd make me happy in the inside because I'm
Only
being
temporarily,
horrible.
though.
But like the devil, kind of happy. You know, it's not gonna make you happy for a long time.
That's true.
That's
You'd
a
have to do it
respectable
again.
answer.
You'd have to like commit a deeper crime again just to get the same rush from it. But if you do something good,
And
it
then
lasts
it's
a long
diminishing
time.
returns.
Yeah,
right?
diminishing
It's
returns.
like, it's like
Porno.
It's like porno.
Yeah.
Dude, I was just gonna say, it's like sex. Look, you just like 3 years down the line, all of a sudden,
I got
You know,
a thumb in my ass.
got
You
a
know.
fire poker. There's a fire poker. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, that's it. You're up to fire poker.
Wow.
It's a
That's
new age.
impressive. You got-
2018, bro.
Progressive, like he said.
Yeah, he is progressive. I haven't even thought about fire poker yet. Shit, man, I gotta get with it.
Slacking.
Cheddars, you heard about that?
No, first time for me.
First time for everyone here.
Don't lie to us, Charters.
Um,
Don't lie to these good people.
So I think, where are we at now? We're right about the time in this program where we do a segment we call Feedback. We got feedback.
We got feedback. Feedback. Motherfucking feedback. It's motherfucking feedback, people.
Welcome to Feedback. We got feedback. This week's program segment is brought to you as always by our friends at Clean Flow, our primary sponsors.
yes. Oh, yeah.
And you know, Clean Flow, they have given up on Dave Charters, is what they've done. They say we gave you 2 posters to read. You got to come here every day. You got to read the poster. You got to learn something about Clean Flow products. Come with something prepared. Never once does he come through with this, right? It looks like you've used Clean Flow product on your hair in order to keep it manageable. Is that true, though?
It doesn't recommend using it on your person. Right on the bottle, it says don't spray it on yourself.
Did you?
So I didn't want to talk about it because I'm not following the rules. But
Is it okay if I tell a story how I knew that, how I learned that story? Like that exact thing you told me, how I learned it?
yeah,
Your wife told me that she goes, Charles is like calling me in from the other room, right? He's like, come in, help me out, right? Teresa, get in here now. Teresa, get in here now, right? So he goes in there. All of a sudden, there's Charles, on all fours, can of honey go up his ass. And Teresa's like, pulls it out. And she's like, it says right on the can, Dave, you don't put it on your person, right? Cause the irritation. Is that... That's how I learned the story. So it reminded me of that when
I'm
you said that.
irritated. Yes.
Yeah. Clean Flow, great sponsor of the show. We wouldn't even be on YouTube if it wasn't for Clean Flow. That's their
True
commercial.
story.
And they said one time to me, they said, Pete, the commercials have to be CRTC approved because we're a real company that sells real products. And I'm like, I don't know what that means.
It's foreign in here.
I'm sure that's what it was, though. Whatever we did with
Oh, yeah.
that thing up your ass.
Yep.
That's probably CRTC.
All good.
And also,
Pipes are clean.
we gotta think of, where is it? This way? Yeah. Oh no, this way. Northpack.
The beef people.
Oh, he's on it.
Nailed it.
You know, that's the extent of the commercial. Northpack.
The beef people.
That's all we do. Sometimes I go to Norwich, I see that sign, Northpack.
The beef people.
That's where I know I get my beef.
Yes.
At Northpack.
The beef people.
That's it.
I think it's that new mic Paul's got.
Yeah, he likes
He's
it.
fucking killing it.
He's a superstar today. He's really rose his game today. I like it a lot.
The week off.
He's refreshed.
Oh, is that what it was? The week off? It got you all refreshed and back in the game?
Yeah. Okay, for
He's
sure.
telling everybody
Okay.
down in Panama what his job is.
I'm a director.
I say the beef people on a microphone.
Not only that, he does also say cunt.
Does he?
Yes.
I'm looking forward to it.
We like to. But he keeps it to a minimum now, Because that one lady gave us the feedback that one time.
Yep, she sure did.
Wow.
On it.
Yeah, everyone's on it. It's really like the power. Feedback. Yes.
Bow before me.
That is pretty freaking sweet. So, what do we have? Who else we got? Yarmy Electric.
Oh.
Michael, this is your cousin too, man.
He
This
sure
is time
is.
that both of us stepped up and we really said, like, these people are not
Fuck off already.
Yeah, what kind of commercial do we have to do? Like, what can we do possibly?
We've tried everything.
We try. They won't listen. They keep calling my cousin, and all he wants to do is go out, put out a few fires, help the community,
Get ready for a hockey tournament.
plant deep in his wife.
It
Maybe
was
have.
it was a birthday. Happy birthday, Jill.
Oh, happy birthday, Jill!
Yeah.
Yes.
Sweetheart. The
You know what
wife.
Derek probably gave her for his birthday? Insemination.
His cock.
Yeah.
Cock and balls.
And not only that, like impregnation. Like he does that. He's that fertile. But what he does is he makes more great people. That's what he does because he's a good person. He makes great people. What's he want to do? Fix your freaking problem so your house doesn't burn down? We don't care about that shit. He has other things to do. The Army Electric, if we don't get it right the first time, we'll get it right the second time. And if we don't get it right the second time,
You can go fuck yourself.
brought to you by Clean Flow.
He's got a
I'm giving
hockey
the-
tournament this weekend. Give him a fucking break.
Yeah, we're fucking
Yes.
busy.
And Van Dyke Party Services, you know the drill. Clean Flow's created a company of between 5 and 29 Van Dyke first cousins to make sure that you people can live a life where just for a moment you know what it's like to have a good time because your lives are miserable, right? Not everyone that listens to this show, but some of you that should hire us, right? Some of you, you know who you are.
You're questioning yourself right now.
You say, is that me? Is Pete talking to me? Yes, I'm talking to you. If you're asking yourself that question, probably. So, what you got to do is hire Van Dyke Party Services. You give an email at livefromthedutchhall@gmail.com, and we'll send you between 5 and 29 Van Dyke First Cousins, bright yellow jackets, and you're going to have the time of your life, guaranteed. All it's going to cost you is $100 of cold hard cash, plus all of our expenses, which will be dear. There's no question about that. But if you're not 100% satisfied, we'll return that $100, but those expenses have run through our bodies and potentially yours. Van Dyke Party Services.
Don't live your life in regret.
I brought to you by Clean Flow. And that's it. Ads are done, right?
Thanks, Cleanflow.
All right. We are working on some stuff for new sponsors, and you can always go to livefromthedutchhall@gmail.com if you want to sponsor the show, because some of those people are real sponsors and some of them are bullshit.
You also can become a shareholder, can't you?
Oh, yeah, shareholders are great.
Mm-hmm.
And we got a new one.
Really?
Yes, but let's not give it away.
Sorry.
We'll give it because I want to save it for this segment of feedback.
Oh. Excellent.
This week we got lots. Number one, let's give a shout out to Ella Steppa Jones.
Ella Steppa.
You don't like the Jones?
Thanks for listening.
Yeah. Dave will not recognize Jones. He said it a million times. Dave likes to remember her as Ella Steppa,
That's her name in the yearbook.
and he's not changing. But anyways, Ella, a while back she bought a T-shirt. We sent it to her, and she wore it this week to a conference or something. It looked like she was at something professional, and she was wearing a Live from Dutch Hall T-shirt. Takes a picture of it, spreading the word. But because of the shirt, she says that she got a lot of people that were thinking she was Dutch, and she says a lot of people were thinking this Polish girl is Dutch. And I'm like, number one, there's a couple things I got to say about this. Number one, I went to high school with this woman, right? Me and you went to high school with her.
Oh, yeah.
I thought she was Dutch the whole time. Steppa, right? Sounds Dutch.
Steppa? Double A?
The Steppa.
Does she have a double A then?
No, I thought they screwed it up when they immigrated or something like that, you know? The Steppa.
The spelling's wrong. Should have put in another A.
I should have known, right? But anyways, she's Polish. She's one of Charter's kind.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I knew it the whole time.
So, and
She smelled like pierogies. Beautiful.
that's perfume for Charter's. It's like it's too alluring.
It's like Pepe Le Pew just following those.
You can't say to one of our super fans she smells like pierogies and try to hide it in a compliment, Dave. This is feedback. We're trying to recognize her. We're trying to recognize her be a good fan. She's an ambassador for the show.
Absolutely.
And you're saying that she smells of pierogies.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Have you ever smelled pierogies and not liked it? Come on.
Polish musk.
I don't know, Dave. I don't know about that one. Anyways, thank you, Ella. And you know what else? I got a message on Facebook Messenger,
Ew.
and it was, you don't like it?
Facebook.
Facebook's shit. But anyways, who cares? I got a message. I have to be on it. There's a Facebook Messenger, and it was Laura Collins, right? That's who it was. She's like, how in the fuck do I get the lighter? Is what she said. In those words. That's what she said. And she said to me, she goes, I've been on all the sites and it keeps sending me different places. And I go, this is how you do it. You give me a messenger thing because everything's going to send you eventually. Give me a message and say, give me a lighter. So what we did was we did her one better. She says, people keep stealing my lighters. I want them to steal your lighters so that we don't lose so that people will advertise the show by stealing the lighters, right? So perfect. I said, I have one Fuck Charter's lighter left. She says, I'll take it. And then she's going to take a bunch of Live from the Dutch Hall ones. The Fuck Charters one, she says she's going to keep in a box where I can't even use it because it's
Will it to
special.
her grandkids.
So because of that, I said, how many can get you lighters? So she said, I said, why don't you come in as a super fan next week? She's going to be here next week.
All right.
Oh, yes.
Awesome.
With Joe Bathello and Michael Moses and AJ Bate. They're promoting a new show they're doing at Yuck Yucks.
You sure she wants to come in with Joe?
Huh? Yeah, I know. This is really going to be trouble. And she gave a bunch of ground rules of how she would come in.
Oh.
She went even further.
She's got a fucking rider.
She's got a rider.
Wow.
And one of them was no penguin jizz. Right. No penguin. I'm pretty sure it was penguin jizz. And she said, I'm serious about the penguin jizz. I'm not sure what's happening next week, but it's going to be an interesting show. But the main thing it boiled down to was no whiskey, because whiskey leads to penguin jizz. It's like,
Well, as my first time on this podcast, there's just a bit too much penguin jizz for my liking. I'm Just letting you know.
Oh, shoot. We're going to clean up our act for next week, Paul.
Just a bit.
We're going to have to add one more thing
Listen,
to
like
Paul.
a dash of penguin jizz is cool, but when it gets to it's like on the drum kit and shit. every
Don't
time
knock
I
it
hit
till you
it's
try it, bro.
kinda-
Seriously, man. Take a little dabble. Just put it on your tongue. Just put it on your tongue a little bit and just have a little taste.
Just a little bit.
A little
like-
taste.
Like you sound like all the craft beer guys, that just kind of rolling around.
Yeah. Do you have any beer that tastes like Bud Light? That's what I always want to ask, eh? Do you have any beer that tastes like Bud Light? There's like a flowery finish with the hops or whatever. I'm like, fuck it. That's what tastes like shit.
We got tree bark over here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Give me
nice.
something that tastes like beer. I can drink 12 of.
This one was aged in 14 maple casks.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I know. I don't really get it.
Assholes.
But what is it? Who is it? Who's doing it? Is it
Should
everybody?
I call them out?
Yeah, yeah.
We'll call them out all
No, like who's like Charters, you look like you're a person that goes to craft breweries all the time. Right? Don't you think? Like there's a bunch of charters around. Like,
Charters and all his Hitler Youth buddies are going to
right?
I've been. I'm not gonna lie.
to Hitler Youth.
And you don't feel like out of place there. You're more you're amongst your people, right?
The beer's delicious.
What?
The beer's really good.
What everything?
Some of them are. Yeah.
Yeah, there's good ones and there's shit
Yeah,
ones.
you go to New Limburg, you can get a couple good ones. I like the milk stout.
I think it might be banned there.
It tastes good when they give you free samples.
Turns out you can't piss on the board games.
No, that's not why I got banned. The lady said she really liked my first show. The lady that owns the place. She goes, I really liked your. I just went for a beer with my wife. They're like, I really liked your first show there where we headlined, right?
Yeah.
Not a big
Everyone
deal.
liked it.
Yeah, we had a great time. It was a great show. Then they said the second time you played there, were not good. That's what she said to me.
Did you bomb?
I didn't bomb. I didn't bomb, but the room was tough, and there was a couple that hated dirty. So they're really like they didn't want any of that nonsense. And the guy who I'm hosting the show, I didn't book it. So there's like a lineup of people who are like some people who I wouldn't book, you know, and they stacked them up all together. So it was going to be like, and they only have one gear. They only have like 5 minutes of material. So like if dick jokes aren't going good, they don't have anywhere else to go. They're going to talk about raping babies or whatever they talk about, you know. And it's like, I know this isn't going to work in this room. I know this guy shouldn't be working here, but I didn't book the show. I got hired to. I got paid $15 to host.
Just because you were the guy saying the names.
You know,
The guy
like
saying
fuck.
the names. It got
Yeah,
on
like
you.
and so like I was telling my jokes and they didn't like them because they didn't like dirty. But then two comics in a row, they realized this show's not gonna be for us, and they walked, right? And I didn't walk them, but another comic did. Notorious for walking people with his material. Anyways, so I went up and I thought they were gone. You know, like those people who didn't like dirty were gone. So I told this new squirting joke I just wrote, and then I was like, I thought like it was, you
This'll
know,
get 'em.
yeah, it's like, oh yeah, like it's cool now. All the like those stuffy people are gone. Like it will tell us like we'll go even dirtier now, and it went like even worse. So then I was like, after that, I had to change gears completely. I'm just like, I'm bringing people up. Yeah, like so I kind of bombed. Yeah, I didn't really like. Yeah,
Long story short.
And long
Yeah.
story short,
yeah. It wasn't like a.
people there
It
didn't
wasn't
like
like cry myself like with a drive home. I'm not crying on the drive home. Kind of bomb, but it was like not. Yeah, my best night. I would
And
say it was a bomb.
the people who ran it didn't like it because of the dirtiness or because of the response to the dirtiness.
They thought my responsibility as the host was that I should have cleaned the show up. I should have recognized that and like taken it in a different direction. And when I went to squirting, she was like, "That was a bad move." You know, she thought that was a very bad move.
Like
She thought at that point in time I should have realized that, hey, this isn't working. Two people left, and I should have been like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Let's clean it up."
a couple of experts.
And I went the other way.
Was it a good bit though?
Yeah, the bit worked all right for the people that liked that stuff. Like, it was a newer bit, but you know, I was
Doesn't
hosting.
like
Like, you don't expect that much from your host. Seriously, like, especially in your hometown, if your host, the idea was that I would be there often and just work on new shit, but because you don't want people to hear the same jokes over and over again, right?
Yeah, you never know. A squirting bit could slay.
But it
You never
has
know.
worked in other rooms. Yeah, it has worked in other rooms. That's the
Exactly.
thing. I've tried it elsewhere because you can't always blame the audience, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you can't always blame the joke. I mean, You guys
Right,
sometimes you have to
right.
blame the audience. Yeah, they are, and like you go to a weed room, do you guys have to play weed rooms ever?
We haven't played a weed room. We've played.
No.
You know what we typically do is like gnarly bar rooms. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Grungy bars.
Grungy ass bars. We've done too many of those. Like the 48-year-old newly divorced ladies like coming up and grabbing your cock really hard.
They want Neil
Yep.
Diamond. That's it.
Yeah.
One day you'll enjoy
Fucking-
that.
The amount of like crackling rosy requests we've gotten, man. I swear to God.
Like, do you hear the music we're playing?
Yeah. And
You
it's,
know.
It's not even just that. It's like there are so many better Neil Diamond songs than crackling fucking
Yeah,
Rosie.
that's true.
Yeah,
And
that's
then you know what my favorite one is though, and these guys will both, I'm sure, attest to this.
Freebird?
How many times have we got? Do you guys play live, right? You play like the Norfolk and shit.
Once in a while.
Yeah, like how many Freebirds have you guys?
Mm.
You get a lot of.
This is
or
a
do you
no-
actually play Freebird?
This is the Nocturnal Emissions. They fucking play the martini bars of the world.
Yes.
They are a high class.
the craft beer bars of the world.
The craft beer bars.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what
Charters is booking all the craft beer bars.
Yeah, seriously, man. They play like only high class joints, and their name is the Nocturnal Emissions. It's "Come in Your Bed"
Yeah.
is the name of the band.
It's the best to read it on the website.
And they're
this
like in
Friday, the Nocturnal Emissions.
Yeah, some people don't
The
even
Olive
get it.
Lounge, Nocturnal Emission.
Yeah, the Olive Lounge. But, yeah, it's
So you guys don't get Freebirds?
No.
No? Do you
No.
ever get like, hey, like the birthday girls? Do you get birthday girls? Yeah.
Kevin's band actually played Freebird.
Yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You fell, eh? You fell down.
Gets old
After
quick.
one time?
Yeah,
Did ya?
I remember you.
Yeah, I mean,
It's good when they're
Sure,
kicking
sure,
you off
sure.
the stage. You're like, you got one more song. You're like, okay, we'll give you one more.
Yeah,
let's do one more. Let's
That's
give
what I
him-
remember of you.
Let's give him a dark star, 38 minutes long.
yeah.
We're gonna drop this tab before we play.
That was the song that we ended our set with, and their crew was just so angry with us afterwards. So we ended up stickering all the
Chick.
bases. I can talk loud enough. That's okay.
Do you have
And my story's over.
Do you have right on? Do you have Do you have I figure for Women's Day, not to completely interrupt everything, but I find typically, and will you guys agree with me here? The worst audience members tend to be women.
The hecklers.
Whoa.
Is that rough?
Wow.
Is that rough
It's,
for us?
maybe a little
They could be the
unnecessary.
loudest.
They could be the loudest,
loudest.
the ones who come up onto the stage.
Yeah.
You got
there
any
can
of
be
those?
some rowdy
I don't know.
ones.
I've seen a lot
a
of
little
drunk
bit too
dudes.
much to drinks, a little too much spilled
Yeah,
drinks.
I've seen a lot of drunk dudes think that they can play your instrument while it's on you during a set.
Oh, that's true.
You know,
Actually, you know what's really funny? Eric will tell you if you want to give him the mic. He's got one guy came up to Jesse one time. We were playing the Norfolk, and if you guys have played the Norfolk, I'm sure you have. Like you get a lot of those, like hammered ass older motherfuckers.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
1 in the
About
morning.
Charter's age, those old grandpas coming up being like, hey man, can I play your guitar, bro? Like I've been playing for like a year and a half, dude. Like I can play some Sabbath and shit. Like it's cool, dude. Like let me play. Let me fucking play. So he comes up to Jesse and he says, hey man, can I play? And Jesse's cool. Jesse's like, oh, man. Jesse's from Dover, so he's constantly like vaping and shit. So he's
It's a
like,
Dover thing.
yeah, he's like, no, man, like it's cool, bro. Like, don't worry about it. Like, we got a set to play. And Eric just goes, hey, fuck off, pal.
Where's Eric from? Where
Well,
are
he
you
was asking for it.
Eric's from Wyndham. He lives
Yeah.
out in the.
Wyndham.
Wyndham Center.
Yeah, that's my people.
Yeah.
That's
Your
right.
people.
Yeah, that's where I grew up on Wyndham
Nice.
Road 11.
Number
Well,
9.
You're number 9?
Yeah.
Oh, excellent.
nine.
I actually
Number
grew
9.
up. I was on the
Number
10th, and then I was on the 11th.
You move around a lot. Jesus.
I like to go with concession.
Yeah.
Every 12 years or so.
This guy lives out. This guy lives out on a farm. This guy is about as Quebec farm boy, fucking redneck as it comes. So he.
It's
When this fucking guy comes up on the stage, Eric goes, "Hey man, you want to pay for that fucking guitar?" And the guy goes, "What do you mean?" He's like, "You want to pay for that guitar if you fucking break it?" The guy goes, "No." He goes, "Well, fuck off then. Fuck off, like just flat out.
That's when I
I'm not
realized
that
that
bad.
that was probably the easiest way to go.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I'm a
It's
bass
good.
player.
It's good when you're in a band though to have different that different personality to bounce off.
Oh
of,
yeah,
right? Like
I was like, thanks so much, dude.
yeah, like it balances you out. Yeah, because too much of a guy like that, too much of what you got.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you get yourself into problems, and too much what you got, you get into problems. So the two of you together
Should see
work
this
perfect.
guy.
What's he though? Yeah.
All right. Can I tell a quick story here?
Yeah,
You
yes.
mind? Yeah. So I remember we were playing the tavern once, and Dill over here is a huge deadhead, right? Loves Jerry Garcia, and the guy comes up to him at the end of the gig and goes, "You know what? You're a great guitar player and whatnot, but we don't need another Eddie Van Halen." And I'm telling you, the look on this guy's face, he was so upset.
Eddie,
And-
what?
Yeah, Eddie
I
Van
should
Halen.
say
What?
I'm sitting behind a drum kit, but I'm a guitar player too. So when we play live, and we're doing like an extended gig, we'll switch around, right? So like
yeah.
I'll play guitar, Jesse will play the drums, and then Eric
Yeah, I've
will
seen
play
you guys
guitar.
do that. It's awesome.
Yeah,
Fucking
so we
awesome.
do that, and it's mostly just so that Jesse's voice can get a rest, and keep things interesting, right? Because if you're doing fucking 5 hours, if we're doing a 4-hour gig and he has to sing and play guitar the whole time, it gets a little
Watch out.
it gets a little fucking boring.
But it always works, when you
Yeah.
switch, right?
Well, I got lucky. These guys are actually really good guitar players, so we kind of share the workload a little bit when we have those longer gigs.
Who plays the drums?
Dylan plays
No,
the drums
no, when you're not
full-time.
playing the drums.
I
Yes,
do.
he does.
Then you do. Okay.
I
And,
never touch drums. That'd be a bad thing.
You would
Bad
no,
thing.
yeah. You wouldn't want
You
to hear
figure
that.
though that. What happened? Just hit the arrow.
Bingo.
There we go.
Hey, magic.
Thank you. But what was I?
Switching
Drums.
around instruments and drums.
Oh yeah. I like when bands do that.
Yeah,
we
it's
watched
impressive.
the Dence's in Memphis. They were the house band at the Elvis Presley's, and they were like kind of like a rockabilly band, like a stand-up bass, a drummer and a guitar player, right?
Rock and roll.
Rockabilly, and they would like. The guy would throw his guitar in the air, and the other guy would catch it, and then he would jump on the bass, and then he's got the guitar, and in the middle of a song, they don't even miss it.
Crazy.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing.
We don't do quite that, but
Not quite that.
Not yet.
Two of us
I
are
hear
a little
pass.
too overweight to be jumping on a fucking bass. But
Yeah,
It would
even
be bad.
The guy
It would be
in the
bad.
stand-up bass would jump off the stage with the stand-up bass, and then like dance with girls while playing the bass in the song. Still, like he was. He was
That's
like
amazing.
by the end of the show, he's like frothing like a horse. Have you ever seen,
I'm here to fuck.
like they were like working? They were working their ass
Yeah,
off. Like,
that's earning your money right there, eh?
and everybody else is just like eating dinner. Like it's just like what's going on when you're eating dinner. Like
Crazy.
they have no reason to work that hard, is what I mean. Like like they were just killing it. When there was like half the people could give a shit.
You ever been to Nashville?
Yeah, love it.
That's the spot too, man, where those dudes are working like that.
Yeah, no one cares because they're at every floor of every bar. There's a stage. Like
From
if there's
fucking 11 a.m. until like 3 in the morning, there's bands every 4 hours. They make no money.
even in the boot stores, there's like a setup for a band. You know,
Really?
You go to Kinko's and there's like some dude just
playing the song he wrote. It is a cool city though. That's one of my favorite cities to go to.
Yeah, we should go back.
And there's a guy there that we have to pay a visit to. What does he play?
Breathalyzer.
He plays a breathalyzer.
all you guys need to do is drive down the road. You see a guy that plays a fucking breathalyzer. This is Norfolk County.
Yeah.
You don't have to go all the way down to.
He really gets angry about it.
He didn't like that.
He didn't like it at all. No. So we're in the middle of feedback still, right? You know what we should do? We should check with the cheese lady.
Because we are 1, 2, 3, 4. We're checking on the cheese lady, on the cheese lady, checking on the cheese lady, always on the run. Checking on the cheese lady, on the cheese lady, checking on the cheese lady, she always having fun. Checking on the cheese lady, on the cheese lady, checking on the cheese lady, always on the run. Checking on the cheese lady, on the cheese lady, checking on the cheese lady, always having fun. She's always having fun.
She is. Hookers in snowsuits will work for snacks. LOL. Hashtag job security. Hashtag cheeseburgers. Hashtag Twinkies. Hashtag cookies. Just can't put hashtag cheese. That's much too expensive.
What the fuck?
She's been
cryptic.
drinking.
Oh,
She's been
Christ.
drinking. That's all I can say.
She's
But she liked her line about hookers and snowsuits will work for snacks. I don't know what I say week to week. Eh?
She does.
She does though, which I really like. And she also wrote, "Oh my God, no wonder that song gets stuck in my head. Laugh out loud. Cheese lady, you're always good for one or two.
It's a keeper.
Can't wait till next week. Hope the song gets stuck in your head. Keep working out there at the Second Mouse in Delhi. Thank you, Teresa.
Buy some cheese, people.
It's delicious.
But you know, we want to talk about the shareholder quickly. You know how you become a shareholder of the show? You give us money. That's good. Real good.
it's favorable.
Yeah, that's the best thing. But you know what else you can do to be a shareholder? Is just give us a present. You know, some people give us booze. I like booze. We like beer. And we also like musical instruments. And one of our listeners, Chris Unwin.
Yep.
Correct? Chris Unwin.
What up, Uncle Wood?
He insisted that he make sure that he dropped us off at Michael, our band leader's house, that he could deliver to us a brand new cowbell. And I'll have you know, we'll put it to good use, Chris. And because of your generous gift, not only am I going to call you a shareholder of the show, but you are also the listener of the week.
He's the listener of the week. This is his week. It's your week, Unwin. Congrats, buddy.
And there's only one more person we have to talk to before we get to the band, and that is our good buddy, the Haitian dwarf. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. Hi ho. It's off to bed we go. Your puss I'll slay on Women's Day. Hi ho, hi ho.
It's Women's Day.
Yeah.
Happy
it's
Women's Day.
Haitian Dwarf's been with us since the very beginning of the show, and he gives us feedback on iTunes. And he says this week, 5 stars, fantastic episode, best video version of the show ever, HD. Oh,
That's
scathing
a low
review.
blow. Low
Scathing
blow.
review. Yes, of course, our video failed last week because we don't know how to work this shit. When did we ever say we knew what we were doing on this program? We are the only late night talk show in Canada just because the rest of the country sucks. Like, if anyone was better at this, they would do it, and then we wouldn't even be able to say that about ourselves, right?
That's right. But we're gonna ride it out.
Yeah, and get better.
And
like,
better.
I figured something out. It's working this week, isn't it?
Perfect.
I call it the curse of Bruce Feltry. He's the one that
yeah.
bitched that we were catering too much to the YouTube audience, and now then he cursed our YouTube.
He did on purpose.
Called us right out.
Yeah,
Curse him.
curse Bruce right back.
Curse you, Bruce.
No, I would never do that to. He's an actual shareholder.
Yeah, I know he is.
Yeah, bottle of whiskey, gone and recycled.
Delightful.
Yeah, that's a good gift.
Was that the result of the puking? Was the whiskey? Is that why we
No, I don't think so.
Is that
No.
why you said earlier don't bring whiskey?
No, you know what happened with that? No, that other girl. She just said maybe she pukes on whiskey. We met a girl one time and said she couldn't. Have I ever told Booby Sue's story on here before?
I'm not sure.
Never heard it.
You haven't?
Neither have we. So
Okay. Well, there's this girl one time. We were camping. I was newly married, right?
Beautiful Bruce Peninsula.
Bruce Peninsula. We're up in Tobermory. You ever been to
Nice.
Tobermory?
Ben,
Beautiful, beautiful.
Georgian Bay.
gorgeous.
And we're up there and we're camping and we have a big group of people. We've been going every year up there, and the group keeps getting bigger and people keep bringing new people. And this time, these girls we knew brought one of their friends. We didn't know her. She was sleeping in the tent, so they were telling us about her. They were saying her name's Sue, and she whatever you do, don't give her whiskey and don't give her weed, because last time she had whiskey and weed, she was running naked through the campfire.
So
Challenge accepted.
give her whiskey.
Sounds like a great time.
Yeah, we
What's up,
immediately
the old auntie there.
started looking for both whiskey and weed.
Yeah.
Because we were like, this is going to be a fun night, right? And my friend Chad, who is a great, the most entertaining guy to camp with, if you ever get a chance to go camping with them, you're going to have the time of your life. But one of his moves is he likes to get in strip-offs with girls, you know? He likes to try to encourage, like, them to take their clothes off, and he'll take his clothes off. But he's naked anyway. Like he's gonna get naked anyway, any night.
He's that guy.
Yeah, there's 5 stages of Chad. There's like the happy Chad, you know, the angry Chad, the naked Chad, the loving Chad, and the crying Chad.
Crying, yeah.
Yeah, it ends with ends with crying.
Always ends with crying
Dude,
and maybe puking.
Any guy that tends to get naked, there's always crying somewhere in.
Yeah.
Love you, dude.
It ends with
Love you, bro.
There's
You're
usually
like my
an
best
injury
friend,
too.
man.
Usually a horrible injury in there.
Yeah, well, there's an injury somewhere in
Dude,
there.
I don't even care if like my dick's small. I like it anyway.
So Chad, we had given her some whiskey, etc. And then at one point, Chad instigates the strip off with her, and it's like watching a maestro at work. You know, he's like beautiful at it because he's done it so many times, and the way he's doing it, he gets down. Anyways, it's just wonderful.
It's an art.
It's an art. So they're down to the point of the strip off where Chad's in his underpants. And Booby Sue is in her. We ended up calling her Booby Sue, but Booby Sue's in her. She's in her bra and panties, green as I remember, Dave. So, anyways,
Floral pattern.
Was it floral? It was. Anyways, I remember green. But anyways, so we're in bra and panties. So it comes to a point. Chad moons, and this is a great story about my brother too, because my brother Paul. One of the proudest moments of my life was watching Paul this whole time, because Paul's sitting on a chair, and there's this one girl who's on this trip who's like a friend of my wife's, I think. Yeah, a friend of my wife's, and she came with another dude who I guess didn't want to be there with her, and so everybody else, was kind of like trying to hit on her or whatever. Paul's sitting there at one point in time, like zoned in, the two of them talking to each other. I'm thinking Paul's wheeling this girl or whatever, and then. So at the point in the time where it's bra and panties time, Chad moons the girl. It comes time for Booby Sue to moon, so she pulls down her panties and moons. Paul's still talking to this girl, eyes locked, with this girl. In mid-conversation, sees out of the corner of his eye this girl's exposed ass, and without even thinking, just whack, just smack the ass. Like he couldn't stop himself. Like it was a reflex.
It's a natural reflex.
A natural reflex. See a naked ass?
Natural respect.
Never interrupted his conversation with the woman at all. Like it was nothing.
For a guy whose eyes are permanently closed, like.
Oh yeah, he sees all.
That's not bad.
20/20 vision out of these slits.
Yes.
That should be the name of the episode. 20/20 vision out of these slits. Oh shit. Oh, I'm good. So so anyways, it comes now the moon's done, and now it's time to expose something, right? So my friend Chad does this masterful move where he removes his undergarments behind like a lawn chair, and then he wiggles out of them. Oh, it's my cord.
Super high kick.
Sorry. So he wiggles out of his he wiggles out of his underpants, and he's hiding himself naked behind the chair, and then he kind of covers his dick, and he kind of like small steps his way to like the chair beside the another girl, and he's like hiding the fact that he's naked kind of thing. But then all of a sudden he like with his back to the main group of people, but with his actual body exposed to the girl in front of him, he like lifts his leg up like way up like this, and just is like so like how you doing, right? He's saying to some other girl while he's like exposing his nuts and balls and everything, like his ass you can even see. Like it's disgusting, right? Anyways, so Chad's naked and he's pleased as punch to be naked, but the rest of the crowd wants the contest to be even, so she has to either go bra or panties, right? Okay. This girl's a bra girl. She decides to go bra. So she's going to flash us her tits. So she does a quick flash of her tits, and Charters and I are both like, damn it, that was awesome. Because you don't get to see like tits that often.
Yeah, how old are you? Like,
I was just married like a year, so I was like 25. So my wife's sleeping in a tent, right, at this time. So then I go, so then the girl flashes her tits. So Charles and I are like, man, we would like to see her boobs again because we liked it so much the first time. So we were like, no wonder you showed your boobs. If I paid that much for them, I'd show them too, we went that route.
Compliments.
If I pay, we said they were fake boobs.
They must
right?
be fake.
You went the gentleman route.
Yeah, they were fake boobs. So of course she took the bait. Like we forgot we had even said it. And we were just chatting on the picnic table, and all of a sudden she comes right to Charters. Right in Charter's face, right?
No way.
Yeah, and she just pulls up her bra.
Flopped him out?
Yeah, and she's like, "Look at them! You think these are fake?" You know, she's like yelling at him. And then she's like, you know, "Grab them! You know, grab them!" Right? Charter's like smoking a cigarette, just looking at her boobs, you know?
That really escalated.
Yeah, it was like right away we're in this, right? And so I'm sitting beside him, and she's just screaming at him to grab her boobs, like check if they're real or whatever. So like I reach over and I grab her boob and I give it a honk. I honked it. I went like this, and I actually said with my voice, honk, like that. Right? That's what I did. Hilarious, right? I thought we were having a great time. Go to the tent, tell my wife of 1 year. You wouldn't believe what we just did. Me and Charles out there chatted the strip off. This girl shows her tits to Charles, and I honk her boob. What? She's crying. She's crying in the tent. She's like, I've ruined our marriage. I'm like, what? I said honk. I said honk. Like, what kind of sexual experience is it when I go honk? That's not like I'm not like cheating on you. I said honk.
You have to say honk, though.
Doesn't that make you in the clear?
That's the part that makes you in the clear. You have
I've
to say
argued this
anything.
to, like, when she was in school, in university, I would argue to her classmates because we were already married. I'm like, I said honk. They're like, you're crazy, man. You're crazy. That's terrible what you did. They're just like really mad at me. I'm like, I don't think I did anything wrong. That was pretty funny. And then like 10 years later, I'm at my friend's bachelor party, and this girl comes up to me because we're trying to get these bachelorettes to come back to our hospitality suite we booked because we'd be a better party, right, for my cousin. And then as it turns out, the girl's like, no. I go, do you want a drink? And she's like, I'll take tequila. So we ordered meat charters and these other two broads, like these bridesmaids. They're wearing like tiaras or some bullshit, you know. And then bridesmaids go out, they all have like sashes and dick hats and whatever. Yeah, happy Women's Day. But yeah, bachelorette parties fucking suck compared to like a bachelor party, don't you think? Or is it for women it would be different because women are doing what they like?
Oh yeah, they're having a good time.
But for men it would be horrible to be part of that day, right? And vice versa?
Vice versa.
It's
Yeah,
good
they
to be
wouldn't
around
like-
if you're not part of that day, though.
Like if my wife came to the Van Dyke hockey tournament, would she have a good time?
No. But if someone else's wife came around to the Van Dyke hockey tournament, they might have a good time.
Oh, sorry, Larry. Yeah. What?
You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't want to be in a bachelorette party, but I would like to be out and bump into a bachelorette party.
Yeah.
Like, that's a good time.
It's a really good time, right? So that was our thought anyways, because it is fun. They're looking to have a good time. We're looking to have a good time. They're at a bachelorette party. We're just having a bachelor party. Let's have a good time, right? It's nothing sexual. It's nothing anything. So the girl buys me, or I buy the 4 tequilas. Then the girl says to me, I don't drink tequila. What? And then I go, she goes, you drink mine. I'm like, well, I just bought you a fucking drink. I didn't get it. So she says, I'm licking my thumb, you know, to put the salt on it. And she goes, no, you don't lick there. It's you lick on here. And she pointed like at the part of her boob, the part of her boob that wasn't the boob fat. It wasn't the bone.
It was the cusp.
The cusp.
I hope you said honk before you licked it.
You know, that's an excellent point, Chris, because I did not at this point say honk. I just licked the boob 4 times because I had to lick it once to make it wet and then put the salt on, then lick it off, and then I had to do 2 shots, so that's 4 licks on upper tit area.
What
So
about a motorboat
The cusp.
sound?
The titty cusp.
The titty cusp, right?
Right.
So if you look at the 2 crimes I committed here against my wife, crime 1, boob
The
grab, honk,
Yeah.
right? Crime 2, lick the boob cusp 4 times of a strange woman. Both of them I admit to my wife. Which one do you think's the worst crime?
The
Number 2. I'll take door number 2.
Do you think door number 2?
You know what? Here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to go with number 1 because number 1 was the first time. Number 2, she's expecting it. She's like, you know what? This motherfucker is going out. He's probably going to try to honk a boob, or he's going for some titty cusp.
Yeah.
I know what's going down.
And you know, you
She's
bang on.
prepared.
You nailed it. You nailed it because that's exactly what happened, Dylan. She had no reaction at all. She just laughed it off.
How was it?
And then I said to her, no, we're married 10 years at this time. The second incident, we're married 10 years. So I say to her in front of my sister, because I wanted to have a witness when I admitted to my crime. So I told her the story in front of my sister. Anyways, Jane just laughed at me, and I go, why last year when I just like grabbed a girl's boob and said honk, you cried, and now, or like 10 years ago, you cried, and now this year I lick a boob 4 times. That seems worse to me. Laugh at me. She goes, because I'm married to you 10 years, and now I know you're an idiot. That's what she said.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah. I'm like, thank God. Freedom.
9
Finally.
years from now, knuckle deep.
Yeah.
9 years from now.
No. That's why she trusts me, is because that's my crimes are those little ones. Like, she sat on my lap for a while, and I touched her leg. I gotta admit, that was upper thigh. It was nice. That's the worst I'm gonna do.
Crazy.
Yeah. It's not gonna be anything bad. Like, I didn't really want her to be there, and after a while, my back got sore, but it was nice.
Then I went to bed.
It's nice to get the attention for a little bit. Anyways, you know what? We have a great band in here today.
For
Sure do.
International
And it's a
Women's Day, are
What?
you trying to get feedback from women?
Women's feedback.
Yes, I am trying to get
Because you're talking to a room full of guys and you're asking for their opinions
of what?
of your transgressions.
Well, do you want who do you want to ask then? You're the one. Get on the mic then. You can't just go away when you start something. So who's
Well, I'm just putting out there if women want to give feedback to your show.
You're doing this for the power trip? I know you are. You want to feel it. I don't have to do anything.
'Cause, yeah, that's all. Just, reach out to Live from the Dutch Hall and voice your opinion on this show.
Oh, tell Peter to.
I'm popping. There I am. Sorry about that, people at home.
Quit playing.
Okay, so you were asking for other people's feedback. I thought you wanted to say, why didn't I ask a woman? Well, you were a woman. I can ask you because you were the actual woman that was offended.
She's your wife, though.
You're the horse's mouth.
It's a different thing.
Oh, right.
The horse's
You told the story accurately. It's all good.
Oh, really? Well, that's amazing. After all those years, I actually haven't totally made it up. Anyways.
Pete, I just got this vision of Admiral Akbar from Star Wars going, "It's a trap. You're in big trouble, buddy."
With those women?
You want to hear a good and brief boob story?
Yes.
All right. So I was playing my other band. I'm in another band. I play guitar in that. It's a duo. So we were playing in London last weekend at Fitzray's. You guys been to Fitzray's? No? So it's like a restaurant bar type thing, right? And
I need sound. Okay.
anyway, so
Keep
it's like
going.
a restaurant bar thing, and like it's on a corner. So all along, it's going to be tough for people listening, but all along the outside of the bar is glass and windows, right? So I'm up on stage tuning my guitar, and I look to my right, and there's the window, and all along. So I look to my right, and there's curtains and this little part in the curtain, and I just hear bang, bang, bang. So I look, and I'm kind of in the middle of doing shit, so I kind of look, and there are these two, like, they might be the drunkest human beings I've ever seen in my life. Maybe, right? They couldn't stand. They couldn't even, like, they were, like, cockeyed. You know when you get so fucked up, you, like, look in two different directions. You know what I mean?
Goodness.
Pete knows what I mean.
Yeah.
Although I can't tell where you're looking, so I guess it doesn't matter. Anyway, so she's just, it's two of them. One is short blonde hair, other is tall black hair. And the short hair one just kind of waves, and I look, and I'm like, hi. And then I keep tuning my guitar, and then I hear bang, bang, bang. And I look over again, and she's like, shirt up, tits pressed against the window, and it's March in Canada.
Yes.
Cold, right?
Yeah.
She could have Mission
Broke in.
She could have Mission Impossible and like done little circles into the glass and thrown it in and shit. Right? He knows. Yeah, he's
Very
all turned
nice.
on now.
I like that.
I do like that.
Yeah, me too. I mean,
A
I
big
was into
pointy
it.
nipple.
Yeah. So she looked. She like gut kind of. I mean, I don't mind a gut. A little
Unapologetic gut.
That's honest.
Unapologetic.
That's an honest gut.
Blind drunk gut. Just let's be brutally
Sometimes
honest.
that could be
here.
like a distended liver. To the girls that
I wouldn't even be fucking surprised.
Yeah.
Psoriasis and
Yeah.
shit.
Sometimes that's you see girls loose around the middle. It's because their liver's all just shot out from all the wine. It's not because you're two kids. No, it's not because you're two kids.
No, it's because you've been drinking the
accurate.
Pinot for
The Pinot.
Buckets of
32
it.
years.
Yeah, you have
Anyway, so
pails.
best part about this whole thing, and where it deviates from the boobs, is so she's gut, tits pressed against window, kind of like rubbing, just doing a little rubbins.
Everything's
She's just
working. for her.
rubbins a little, kind of like this, she's like gut pressed right out. She's like this. Her head's up. She's like jaw.
She's into it, like
So into it. She's
Turkish prison.
like
Or-
flash. She's like doing she's
what's
like
that?
doing the flash dance, head all back.
Oh,
And so I kind of go. I give her. I didn't know what to do, so I gave her the finger guns.
Classic.
I didn't know what
Classic.
to do. I just
Yeah.
kind of I can't verbalize nice tits.
yeah.
I can't say. I can't mouth it, right? So I just give her the finger guns, like,
Perfect. That's
What's
it.
up?
You have two moves. You have thumbs up or finger guns.
right? I went with the finger guns. I wanted to look a little, a
Thumbs
little
up's
dangerous,
old school.
Thumbs up is
goes
old
like
school.
like mainstream,
right?
Yes.
like regular culture.
Yeah, I agree.
Where counterculture, gun or double gun.
And the click, I clicked. I even clicked. She couldn't hear me, but I clicked.
Yeah, yeah.
Best part of the story is, so there was short blonde titties,
Yeah.
tall black, right?
Black hair or black skin?
Black hair, not
Okay.
black skin. Black hair, white as it goes.
Yeah.
She bangs on the window when I turn away, and I turn back, and her ass is pressed up
Oh.
against the window, but not just ass, spread.
Yes, the whole junk.
Spread ass,
Asshole.
full asshole,
Asshole.
like, and just kind of like just gyrating.
That is taking it to a new level.
Against the window. I got full
Classy.
gooch. I got full taint. I got full asshole
What'd you do to that?
against the window. I couldn't finger gun. I was paralyzed.
Yeah.
I was paralyzed. I didn't know what
Just
to do. I just
literally
kind of
in
stood
awe.
there. My head just kind of started cocking like this, and I just kind of kept looking. I didn't know
She
what
must
to
have had
do.
terrible tits. Hey? she couldn't compete with the other girls, so she's like, I'm going though. I only got one move.
Going full bore.
What's the name of the place again?
Chris is on his
Called
way.
Tits Rays.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to book a comedy show there, Chris.
Yeah.
Sounds
So
great.
full asshole against glass. Rare.
Yeah, that is
very
rare. man.
rare.
If that's on your bingo card, you don't often get to
that's
hit it with
very
the blotter.
rare.
Yeah.
Because you know, if these girls are that comfortable, they're regulars there, right?
Yeah.
There and everywhere.
And everywhere.
Okay, let's book it.
Yep. Done.
Done and done.
Anyways, let's hear a song right now from the Jesse Murphy Trio. What are you gonna start with? Play for us today, Jesse.
We're gonna start with our own rendition of a Stephen Stills tune called "Love the One You're With."
All right, awesome.
Very nice.
So, ladies and gentlemen, from Norfolk County, one of our prides. If you're going to go see live music in Norfolk County, you're eventually going to run into these guys. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for the Jesse Murphy Trio.
Woo woo.
When you're down and you get confused, when you can't remember who you're talking to, your concentration is slipped away because you've been so far away. And there's a road and a fisted road, and the eagle flies with the dove. Said you can't be with the one you love the one you're with. Don't be angry, don't be sad. Well, don't sit crying over down your head. Say it's a girl right next to you. rose in a festival, and the eagle flies with the dove. Said you can't be with the one you love the one you wear. Turn your heartache right into joy. She's a girl and you're a boy. You get together, make it nice. You won't need none of my advice. And there's a rose and a mystic and the eagle flies with the dove. With the one you love, not the one you wear.
Thank you. All right. The Jesse Murphy Trio, everyone.
Thanks so much, guys.
All right, guys. So how long you guys been together?
How long has it been now?
This incarnation,
Yeah.
I replaced their old drummer. This is my second year, May last year.
And then, so the original band.
These dudes have been, what, 3 years, 4 years now?
Yeah, it's going on 4 years. The original band was a buddy from work who played bass, and my cousin, who played drums, and it just kind of got thrown together. And
then how did you make the splits with the people? Because
the bass player ended up moving to Alberta, and then my cousin lives north of Toronto. It was just too much of a commute. Ended up meeting Eric. He is actually a really good guitar player, but plays bass. So he got in on it.
Now I'm a bass player.
Yeah, now he's a full-time bass player. But
and then how did you meet Dylan then?
Well, your guys' relationship goes back farther than I know.
See, I knew Dylan way back in high school. This guy was playing all the crazy John Mayer shit and whatnot, and we always hung out in the music room, and that was that. So.
Oh yeah, so you knew each other from being kids together.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And both grew up at where'd you go to school?
SES.
Yeah.
Simcoe.
And then Wyndham before.
Even together in Wyndham?
Not together. He was a couple years older than me.
Oh yeah. But in the same school though. So you're a Wyndham guy too?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Like Wyndham.
Yeah, that's I'm a Wyndham guy.
Drink.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Represent.
You know,
Drink Norfolk.
Cheers to that.
When
Drink
I-
Norfolk. That's,
if you hear Wyndham,
it's
you
the
got-
drinking game, right?
Cheers to Wyndham.
Cheers to Wyndham. And when I actually cost I coached at one time the Victoria.
There's another one, isn't it?
Was it three? What do they call that? Fastball.
What, slow pitch?
A fastball?
Fastball, nice.
Like for kids. So I coached a kids team of mixed like boys and girls. My daughter was on the team, and we played Wyndham, and I cost our team the game because I passed the ball to the Wyndham person by accident. Like I kicked it to him, thinking I'd help the kid out. And
Represent.
Then I cost our whole kids the tournament. The whole tournament, we were out, and but it was a hot day, and all the kids just wanted to go home anyways. And we got a trophy for losing.
You ran out of orange slices?
Yeah. So, anyways,
Yeah.
I made Wyndham victorious in that tournament. That's
But
all I'm
you-
gonna say. Like
That's
I'm
sweet.
representing Wyndham all the time because my allegiance is them, not Victoria. No offense to Victoria, but I don't represent you, and you don't represent me.
That's the spirit.
But
I moved away. I went to college in the States for like almost 4 years.
Berkeley, it's no big deal.
I went to
It's no big deal.
music school. I went to Berkeley, so I moved away for a bunch of years, and then he and I didn't nothing. I was I was away, so I came home, and I was like, fuck, who the fuck am I gonna play music with?
He
around
needed
here?
some work.
Yeah.
I need to work, right? Like I didn't know who the fuck was playing music around here. I'd been gone for years, and then
Now, I think our first gig when you came back was at the Simcoe Arms.
I think you're right.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. Played at the Simcoe Arms.
Yeah,
and
we played a duo gig, and then he recommended some about the Jesse Murphy Trio to me, and then they told me that the drummer was leaving. I was like, well, I'm not a fucking drummer, but hey.
Yeah.
You are
I'll
now.
play- I'll
He's not
play
a drummer,
drums.
but
Yeah.
he'll do.
I'll play the drums, so
He'll do.
fuck it. And I decided to just be the drummer in the band, and now my second year.
Dude, you honestly do a great job. That's why you're still doing it.
So, Jerry.
But you have to go back now. We have to go back to you just said something when you said
Berkeley.
Berkeley. Yes, Berkeley.
Yeah.
You went to Berkeley
I did.
for how many years?
I did 3 and a bit.
And how long ago?
I got back 2 years ago.
Really? Okay, so recently.
Yeah, recently.
So like Berkeley and like historically was a really outspoken like
No, different Berkeley.
yeah,
Here's
it's
the-
not
This
anymore.
is the common misconception. Berkeley, California is like
Ooh,
UC,
air that out.
Is UC Berkeley.
UC Berkeley, yes.
Yeah, I went to a completely different Berkeley.
Boston.
I didn't go to that. I went to Berkeley
went to
College
fucking
of
Boston.
Music in
Oh.
Boston.
Fucking
I didn't
quiz.
go to that fucking school.
Fucking
Hey,
Southeast.
kid, I didn't go to
Cheater.
fucking school in fucking California.
Yeah, you're going to
I
Boston.
fucking
Lot of
packed my
coffee and
fucking
hot
car,
dog.
kid. Went to
Yeah.
fucking Duncan.
Yeah.
Lived
Wow.
in fucking Worcester.
Fucking
It's like you live there.
What?
Yeah.
Just beside Villanova.
Yeah, Southern
Yeah.
fucking Mass.
Southern-
Rattlesnake fucking harbor.
Rattlesnake Habit. I spent some fucking time in Boston. Yeah. So no,
different school.
Berkeley, different Berkeley.
Different
But
school.
I'm aware of that Berkeley, and I do not. For the record, I don't agree with anything that they're doing.
I don't even know what they're doing anymore. I think
They're
they
like
used to do
throwing-
stuff and now they don't do anything.
They're like throwing bricks through windows, and I don't know. They're doing weird shit.
Really?
Yeah, they're weird.
There's
They're
a lot
weird
of
down
weird,
there.
there's a lot of weird stuff going on everywhere. Like people like
If you pay attention.
if you pay attention.
Crazy
If you're
world.
on the internet, then
Yeah.
it seems like the world is fucking ending. But if you open your fucking eyes for half a second,
Yeah, it's pretty good,
everything's
right?
pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah.
This podcast can go really deep.
It's true though. It is
Yeah.
true though.
It's a rabbit hole.
It's like if you like that's what I always think about when people talk about like Iran or something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, have you met a person from Iran? The one that just like works drywalling in Iran? You know, like a regular dude.
I'm sure
Yeah.
he's cool.
He's probably a regular dude that's just worried about like regular shit.
Right.
He
He
doesn't
probably
give a
drinks
shit
Bud
about
Light.
whatever the Ayatollah Khomeini or whatever is
Yeah.
fucking going on about. He probably thinks he's a crazy son of a bitch too. Like we don't like when Trudeau. It doesn't matter how many times Trudeau says Canadians feel this. It doesn't mean I feel that, and I'm a fucking Canadian, I guess.
That's
Yeah.
the spirit.
I think I might end up being your. I don't want to go too deep down this rabbit hole. I'll end up being your new political analyst, but
Oh yes.
it's weird if you pay attention to the internet, and if you are on Twitter or you're on Instagram or you're on Facebook or you're on any of those social media platforms. It seems like everybody's pissed off about something
Yeah.
every day.
Their thing.
So it's always their thing.
Yeah.
Whether it be comedians
Yeah,
stepping over the line with some kind of joke,
Yeah.
and offending some marginalized group.
And
Or
usually it's like 6 people too.
Yeah,
and then-
that's their job.
Yeah.
It's their job.
Yeah.
Cross
to find
lines.
They're
things-
they're probably Russians, right? At this point, you know what I mean? trying to
I
sow
just don't understand how
sow
some
the seeds of communism.
like there's certain things that they make like that are like offensive, no matter what they are. Like
Yeah.
they're just offensive.
Yeah.
Like blackface. You can't wear blackface. But if I'm doing a skit where I'm impersonating Mr. T, I can't just have a mohawk and a bunch of chains on. You need to know I'm Mr. T. I gotta wear like something on my face, right?
Right.
I would expect if Mr. T was playing Pete Van Dyke in a skit,
He would
Mr.
wear
T would
whiteface.
have to wear whiteface in order to make his thing.
Chappelle did an amazing whiteface.
Didn't he? No one gave a shit.
Well, I think it's you know what it is, and Downey Jr. did blackface.
Oh, yeah, drop
he
that
did
render.
hard blackface
Movie was
for an
good.
entire movie, right? But
Yeah.
that was before all of this hysteria, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I think,
Do you think the pendulum will swing back?
yeah, man, it has to. It is.
It
Right?
i-
It is right now. Because
You-
there's the other side as well. There's the other side, which is the, you know, the people with the Hitler Youth haircut, like our friend over here.
The
You know what I
hipsters,
mean? The hipsters. Well, it's not just that, but there are other people on the other side that are going too far the other way, where they're
Yeah, yeah.
holding Walmart tiki torches and walking down the fucking road saying,
Yeah, yeah.
we're not going to adhere to your bullshit. That's the other
Yeah, yeah.
wrong way.
So it's both sides are going to pull you to the middle, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
But that,
eventually.
that requires common sense.
But you know what they say about times that are like politically or economically or even like or socially like troubling is when the best music is made. And then that like, we're
That's
actually
the
going to get a
60s and the 90s.
yeah. Every time
Something
there's like
good's
an
gotta come
economic
out.
downturn or a political downturn,
Every
like
time.
like people feel that angst and whatever, and good music comes out of it at least, you know,
It has
because
to come from somewhere.
look at the '80s when everything was going good, music stunk, right?
Oh, it was the worst.
And then even the '90s, like only the beginning when we had the recession,
Right.
it was grunge, right?
Yeah.
But then at the end, when it got good, it was music turned into Backstreet
it's
Boys
been-
and bullshit.
And it's been that, like, chain rap shit since.
Yeah.
Chain rap.
Whatever that stuff is.
Yeah,
like that
it's-
Gucci rap or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
You know, and there's but the interesting thing about of music is like it's there. You just have to look, right?
Yeah, yeah. There's
if
always
you're
good
listening
music.
to, and I have this conversation with my girlfriend, and if she's listening, she listens to the just radio, right?
Yeah.
She's like, why can't I hear any good music on the radio? It's because radio is dead.
Yeah.
Dead. And it died a minute ago.
Like
right?
like TV.
Like TV.
Yeah.
Do you guys still have cable?
Unfortunately.
No, man.
yeah.
What's that?
Yeah, right. I like it's dead. Radio's dead.
But he was born in
they
year
play
2000.
it's anything that is like specifically built to make the most amount of people possible happy is not going to be the best thing because they're trying to be as milk toast, watered down, and good for everyone thing. They're not going to be cutting edge or playing the newest, coolest stuff.
Right.
Or the stuff that's pushing music in the next direction.
Right.
Right.
And
They're
the beautiful part about the internet now is that there's no one that has to validate your art.
Exactly.
Like you have the access to the world through the internet without having anybody say like, I believe in what you're doing. Like I believe that you guys are good. You don't need someone to tell you you're good. If you think you're good and you can go find your people that agree with you that you're good, then you're good.
And
You
to
don't
that-
need to have a record executive tell you you're good anymore.
And to that point, I mean, you also don't have to do that if you don't want to. And that's also the salient point is that if you don't plug in quite so much, you'll realize that there's so much to the fucking world around you that you won't experience because you're so busy trying to get followers or trying to get
Yeah, but there's I agree.
You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean, and I agree with you. But there's another way to do it, and it's actually like touch people and like talk to them
the
and
way
like.
that I think we're
Touch people.
Well, yeah, like well,
Can't do that anymore.
Yeah, baby.
Jeez,
Yeah,
this is
Chris?
2018.
Chris, why are you back here? It's because that one time I touched you. You know damn well. No, but you know what I mean. Like you have to actually be in contact with people and actually develop like something that's like that they feel like a stronger connection to than just like you know like even social media. That's a game. You know, you can play the algorithms and get the followers and all that stuff, and you have a bunch of these douchey LA people that are like trying to show their ass to the world that are now your followers, don't give a shit about your show or anything you're doing, right? If you're going to play that game, you can fool yourself into believing you're more important than you are.
Or
but
that game is even real in the first place.
Yeah, that's all this nonsense.
It's not real.
No. The ones, like, when I think about this show and I think about, like, the people that actually like the show and the super fans and stuff like that, the real people, like, they don't really, I didn't need to do that crap to get them. They just like what we're doing, you know, like, they just like what we're doing.
It's funny you mentioned that because today I was kind of preparing for coming in, right? Because I wanted to come in and be able to talk to you guys and know what the fuck was going on and what you do in the show. So I listened to a couple of shows, and I was like, man, these guys got their shit together. They're doing their thing. They're doing what they want to do, and
just hanging out.
Just hanging out. Just real stuff.
Yeah,
and I appreciate that so much. Yeah.
Well, that's what we're trying to capture is just the fact that there are a lot of people in a lot of parts of the world are just sitting around in sheds of various, or man caves or garages or fucking backyards or whatever they're doing, and they're just sitting around chatting like real people do, not like like they do on TV where it's all like worried about the consequence of every statement, you know. And even comedy, they're trying to make it that way that you can't even explore an issue because just stay away from it because then you don't have to worry about those people getting offended. But I'm like, well, there's counterpoints. Mm-hmm. Who's allowed to counterpoint something like global warming or something like that, you know? Like, what if there's evidence, like actual scientific evidence to say it's bullshit? Can you not say that out loud without being told you're an idiot?
It's being constructive.
Right? Like, if it's based on science, but they'll tell you you're an idiot. Like, even a guy that's trying to, like, explain gender, you know, and explain that there could be a like, we could be going too far, too quick, or whatever. We're maybe doing too many changes that it's not, you know, maybe there's not enough data, or, you know, I don't know what it is. But there could be something to it. But people are so close to the idea of another side that they say that don't even get into it. You know, you can't even talk about it, you know. And I think, well, because people just want to know their one side and get it like reaffirmed all the time, and they go on the internet to find their side of the point, and they just keep getting it reaffirmed. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I'm getting off topic, but this is what my point is. Last week I played a gig in Woodbridge. You know, it's by like Vaughan, or whatever. Yeah, I went to this club. It was like a hookah bar, and it had like you could get booze and food there. It was nice. I had like a mango hookah.
We got to start playing weed bars. That's what we got.
That sounds great.
It wasn't weed. It was
Hookah?
flavored tobacco.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
hookah.
Tobacco shisha.
Yeah, that's what they called it. That's what they called it,
Yeah.
shisha.
Cute.
And but anyways, it was a good place. But I was like one of the few white people in the room. Like I was very much like in the minority.
Sure.
And I drove up with a black guy too, right? Like, so he was the host of the show, and he's getting excited the whole time. Like he's excited for me to go up, eh? And I'm just looking, and I'm like, I don't know. Toronto, I bomb in Toronto every time, right? Like people in Toronto hate me, except for when I played the Hostel, which is people from all over the world. They liked me, but people in Toronto generally don't like me.
Why do you think that is?
I think, well, this is my point. These people didn't. These people love me, and usually black people in the room. This is a racist comment, I suppose. They love me. I'm always happy when I see a black person. I'm like, oh, thank God there's a black person here. You know, so he's going to get my joke, you know? And I was thinking about it a lot. Why do black people always like my jokes? Because my jokes aren't about black things or white things. Like, I don't even talk about race at all. It's just about dicks, mostly. So I'm like, why do they like it so much? I think it's because no matter if your message is good or your message is bad, like if you're like saying, like, I'm a white supremacist, I got a tiki torch, right? And then I hate everybody that's not white. You know, that guy's obviously like a nut job, and everybody that's not white is going to not like that guy, right? A black person is going to think that person's not nice.
Even the white people might not like him.
Even the white people might not like him, right?
They're overextending too, so they're going to be extra not liking him.
And then there's like the other side, which is like the people that are saying we got to be good to everybody. We got to like make sure that everybody's treated equal, and the gender stuff, and you got to be nice to everybody no matter what their choices are, and everybody's a different person, all that stuff. That's all noble shit, right? Everyone's like, oh, that's all like sounds good. If you disagree with it, you're evil or whatever. But for the people that are like not part of that don't feel like they're part of the decision-making process and what these stupid rules are, they are going to think it's dumb, right? So like a person that's in a what do you call it, a marginalized community, like if you're in like a minority community, like if you're a new immigrant or whatever, Muslim, black, or Asian or whatever, you're going to feel like you come to this country and all these white people are making these decisions. They have nothing to do with me. All these crazy people talking about these like zim, zer, zip or whatever. Like it's all nonsense. Even though that's a noble reason for doing it, they're all going to feel alienated from the decision because they weren't part of it, right?
Yeah. This is getting deep.
Right? But if I say a joke where I'm hacking on the same shit, then they laugh at it because they're saying, hey, even he thinks it. And he's one of the white guys, right?
That's the thing. And,
yeah.
And if you're, I imagine, I'm not a comedian, but I imagine if you are, everybody has.
You are a comedian.
In rehearsal, just in rehearsal.
Everybody has what?
Everybody has, like, power now. Everybody has a phone.
Yeah,
Everybody has access to the thing, right?
Yeah,
The Twitter. Everybody. Twitter. Whereas now, before, I imagine if you're a comedian, like, if you were on TV, like, it used to be, like, prior Steve Martin.
Yeah.
You know, dudes like that were on Letterman. And if they went just a little too far, they'd hear it maybe 2 weeks later in the ratings. Now, if you're Pete Van Dyke and you're playing at
some shithole
in fucking Woodbridge, they could
tell you.
Nice they could tell you tomorrow. They could tell you right now. They could tell you during the show. You know what I mean? So that then gives every audience member 20 times more power than any audience member in the 80s or 90s.
Yeah.
Right?
But like, who gives a shit?
But that's what I was going to ask you is how do you feel about that, being a guy telling jokes? Do you
That's
give
the
a fuck?
thing. I knew a guy, he did this joke, and it was about like he was walking his dog, but he didn't want to walk his dog because it was too much work because he's a fat guy. So he wanted to like wear rollerblades to walk his dog, and he said like the dog wouldn't go for a walk with him when he was wearing the rollerblades because even his dog knew rollerblades were gay. That was it's a good joke, right?
It's a good fucking joke. Yeah.
Anyways.
Funny.
He told that joke, and he had some girl write a blog about it, and then he stopped doing the joke. And I'm like, this one girl had the opinion that it was homophobic. It's not homophobic, really, because it's still maybe it is. I don't know.
It's not.
But it's just
That's
a
the
joke.
Thing. It's not. Though.
There's no hatred in that.
It's a joke.
Yeah.
Homophobia, as defined, is a prejudice or hatred against gay people because of the fact that they're gay. Right? That's wearing rollerblades and joking about the fact that rollerblades are gay. It's like, what was that? What's the old joke? Is like, there's an old joke of what's the hardest part about rollerblading is telling your dad you're gay.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
The hardest. That's That's like the oldest joke in the book.
That's a very old joke.
That's old.
Yeah.
There's a reason why that joke makes its way into the consciousness of.
And that's basically a rehash of the same joke, really.
It's the same
It's
joke.
the same joke. But that joke was told when nobody gave a crap about that stuff, and now they do.
But that has nothing to do with being gay. It has. It's the joke is that the absurdity of rollerblading being gay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like,
also, it's saying that gay people generally keep themselves in great shape. They like to rollerblade.
Right, and gay people like to rollerblade. Which, if you've ever been to L.A. or San Francisco, it's fucking true.
Yeah, I saw Mike one time.
They're all shirtless and.
I saw Mike rollerblading one time in Turkey Point. Same thing, shirtless, sweaty, right?
Sweaty, glistening.
Just going on Turkey
Working
Point.
up a solid rollerblading.
You like to do a nice July program there in TP.
I didn't mind it one bit.
Did you have a bandana on or a backwards ball cap?
Tank top for sure.
No shirt. We're going no shirt. We're going
Speedo?
No shirt. Sorry. We're confident.
Just a Speedo.
He's
that's
confident.
Just
a
Speedo.
Yeah, it's a nice route down
Just
there.
letting it bounce.
The one thing about that when we have musicians in here, when we have comics, and this is good that Chris is here too, because we notice a lot of similarities between the music world and the comedy world, as far as like you're still trying to accomplish the same thing from your audience, right? You want to like pop them, you want them to be engaged in what you're doing up there, you want them to like give you some response that the work that you put into what you're doing is going to be appreciated, right? So you try different things, right? Like, do you read your crowd when you go to your crowd? Like, do you change your set list based on what the crowd's into?
I would say a little bit for sure. definitely. Like if you know it's older people and they like to slow dance, you'll play more slow tunes. If it's a crazy bar and it's 1 o'clock in the morning, you're gonna play
country.
Whatever. Well, that works too.
Yeah. But if you had it your way, where you had enough Jesse Murphy Trio fans that they're coming to see you and you can play whatever you want, like what are you gonna do?
Well, I think we try and mix playing whatever we want with what we think people want to hear.
Oh yeah.
And I think we do that all right.
Yeah.
And
But
it helps that
so
we're
you even
also,
when
we also kind of we're not jamming necessarily in that we're collectively improvising.
we like to keep it loose.
Oh,
It
yeah.
keeps it fun
Loose.
for us.
Yeah.
Like when we played that last song, there's that solo section where he just kind of takes it. We're just listening to him. There are shows where he'll go 2 minutes, 3 minutes,
Filled
4
it down
minutes.
and bring it back
There
up.
are times
and,
when
you
he'll
know.
communicate to us in some way, bring it down in volume and dynamics, and we'll do that just because that's just kind of how he's communicating, and that won't happen necessarily in every show. So
keeps it interesting for
we
sure.
found a way to keep it interesting, playing the same songs.
Yeah.
Like that tune, we've played that tune a million times.
Right.
But it's always different in some little way,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So that always keeps it interesting. It always keeps it so that I'm not sitting back here just going, fuck.
Yeah. It's like me telling a joke. I like to work the crowd into it.
Exactly.
But I still know I'm going to tell the same joke. It's the same joke.
Yeah, but the delivery might be a little different.
Yeah,
right?
because of whatever the guy tells me at the beginning
Yeah.
will make my setup different.
Right.
And then at least that gives me the ability to tell the same joke differently.
But
you know.
you have your parts that you're gonna say. You have your tags.
yeah.
You have your punchlines.
I'm not going to miss my beats. I'm just going to like
Somewhere
jam
in
a
the
bit
middle,
like
you're gonna
you
jam.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's the
jam
same
a bit
thing.
with the crowd.
That's how
yeah.
we kind of keep it interesting. And when I'm fronting on the shows, which if we're doing like a festival or we have a 45-minute or an hour, it'll be Jesse because it's Jesse Murphy Trio, obviously. But if we're doing like some 4-hour show, like we said earlier, and we want to keep it kind of interesting, and I'm up there, I don't use a set list. I just don't like doing it. I go right off kind of what I can tell people are doing.
Yeah.
And you can read the crowd. I'm sure you guys know. You can read the crowd. You can kind of tell their energy, and you kind of make a decision from there. Because I'm kind of the opinion that like that's you'll know when the time is right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You'll know when the time is right, what to play, when to play it, and how to play it.
Yeah. It's cool when you see us live too, when we have that like 4-hour gig. If you can stick around for that long, because we each play a really different music. So Eric plays more country and stuff like that, and Dylan plays more, say, like jam and some like newer stuff too. I play a lot of old music, a lot of funky stuff. But
Well, I got this saying, and it goes, there's a saying, same shit, different pile, but it's the same shit, same pile, but we're all from a different part of the pile, right? We all come from that blues era, but I'm a little bit more country western swing, Jesse's soul and funk, and Dylan over there is Grateful Dead as hell. So
he does it well. He does it well. He's wearing the shirt.
But that together ends up bringing out
perfect.
those elements of everyone.
Yeah,
It makes for a
Speaking
cool.
of, should we play more?
Yes, I think we should play.
another one?
We
Should we
should
play
do
another
another
one?
one. Yeah.
Or do a little shuffle.
And do you want to just do a plain old another one? And then we'll actually we'll talk for a bit after. I know we're running late, but we'll do
fun.
one more song. We'll just do we'll do that. That'd be fun.
We're having fun.
What do you want to play this time?
What should we
Want
play?
to do Ain't That a Bitch?
Should do a
Yeah.
little
Some
funk.
old Johnny Guitar Watson.
Sweet.
Song's called Ain't That a Bitch.
sick with long days, and I'm highly embarrassed every time I get my pay. Though they're working everybody, though they're working for folks to death. When you pay your rent, ain't got no, you got a damn thing left, ain't that a bitch? Somebody doing something sick, yeah they are. Got me wondering which is which. Might as well go outside and dig a ditch, ain't that a bitch? I took a course in business, and I can speak a little Japanese. Gotta work 2 years, get 1 week off of pay. And when I'm on my job, better watch every word I say. Ain't that a bitch? Somebody doing something sick, yeah they are. It's got me wondering which is which. Might as well go outside and it ain't that a something slick going on, and sure is something slick. Sure is something slick going on. Somebody doing slick, ain't that I? Ooh yeah, yeah, yeah. Ain't that a bitch? Ain't that a bitch? Something slick going on. Boy, something slick. Something slick going on. Somebody doing slick. No, no, no.
Thank you very much.
Hey.
Dynamite.
Great.
All right.
Hey, you guys opened for Crown the Lion in Delhi last year, and Michael, you had to follow these guys.
Yeah, I know. It was I remember walking up to the stage, and I had heard of them but never heard them live, and was like, "Oh yeah, we got to close this one out, eh? This would be great." We hadn't played in a while, but yeah, hopefully we can play again.
Yeah, you didn't make it easy for him, is what I'm saying. Like, it was a pretty tough act to follow.
Yeah, it was.
Shit, sorry about that.
No, yeah.
So when you were,
That was a good thing. That was a good thing.
No, they did. You did a good job.
I don't know. I don't know. I know you guys did a good
Nah,
job.
you guys sounded good, man. I stuck around. It sounded good.
That was fun. We should definitely do it again.
Absolutely.
It was a really good
Absolutely.
turnout too.
Yeah.
Really, really, really good turnout. I was talking to someone who organizes all that, and they were actually saying the Delhi one was the most attended.
Oh really?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a good turnout.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was a fun gig for sure.
That leads me to poorly attended gigs. You went,
We've played them.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When you go to a gig and there's no one there, or like 4 people or something like that. Have you ever done a gig like that?
Yeah, yeah. It makes it so shitty.
I think
Yeah.
the
Like-
worst one we did recently was me and you at Jeffrey's Lounge.
I gotta take a piss. God damn it.
There was maybe
Yeah,
8
sure.
people there the whole time, and it was just excruciating. We had a blast though. It was a good time.
Yeah, but do you guys change the way you play because there's 4 people, or do you say like we have to keep doing it? We have to do it the same
Fuck
way?
it. Just let it go.
We kind of treat it as like a paid rehearsal.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. You kind of have to make the most out of it.
Yeah, learn something from it.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Because you went through all the trouble, right? That's the way it is mostly with comedy too. You go to a lot of gigs, especially
Exactly.
at the beginning, that are just garbage.
Yeah, it's hit and miss.
Yeah.
You never know what to expect. Sometimes it's amazing and it's packed and you're killing it, and then sometimes you show up and no one else does, and you're getting paid to jam. So
yeah, that is the universal truth that only people that have been on a stage can understand, is like that like I gotta do it anyways. It never occurs to you not to do it.
And like, I don't know, we try to not play any worse, or you know what I mean, just kind of have fun with it, and
That's part of the career.
exactly.
You gotta pay your dues.
Yeah, exactly. That's all it is paying dues, man. And you just have to do it no matter who you are. You have to start somewhere, and just getting out there and playing. So
I always find the body language changes too for us. I mean, if we're playing, what's coming to my head right now, we played Xander's in Brantford, and it was awful. No one was there because they had just opened up their patio, and everybody was out back.
Smart.
Behind a door. Right?
Yeah.
Nobody was there.
Yeah, great.
So the body language, and my body language can't change too much, but these guys, I noticed, they kind of went and turned to me a little more.
Because all of a sudden you're playing for each other.
yeah,
For each
exactly.
other.
Kind of like you do in rehearsal, where everyone's just kind of facing each other and working out the kinks and
You're
stuff.
just trying to, because all three of us play guitar, so we're always trying to flash. You know what I mean? He's always, if I'm on guitar, I'm always trying to turn to him and show him something cool, and he's always doing the same for me. And both of us play drums. If I play something cool, he'll be like, it's kind of a body language conversation too.
Yeah, we try to have fun.
It's the same as comedy, right? You watch comics bomb, they actually back up and stay on the stage.
Yeah.
Because they
That makes
sense, but they feel weak, right?
Yeah.
And you can't feel weak. You got to stand at the front and keep delivering, and the crowd will get into it if you stand there. If you start walking back or showing a weakness,
they'll eat you up.
They'll eat you up because they can smell that you don't believe what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
So why the fuck should they give you any time?
Exactly.
And that's the same as a band. If you watch a band not into it, they'll turn, and the more you guys turn into each other, the crowd will be like, well, they're just up there jacking each other off. So
Which we do.
Great
from
time, though.
to time.
hey, you do it. But if you guys play to those 8 people, they will come around, and those 8 people will be fucking.
Oh, we
the
do that
best
too.
8 people.
We absolutely.
No, I understand. I'm
we
not
try to.
arguing or saying
No, I
you're
know.
doing
We
something
try to.
bad,
We
but-
try to put on the best. We always do.
Yeah.
And there's always, but the point I'm trying to make is there's a communal thing about it.
Yeah.
If you guys are on a show together and one of you bombs, you're gonna go backstage and be like, bro. And then after the show, you guys talk and 2 years down the line, that becomes a fucking good story.
Oh,
dude, you remember when I played this place?
A day. It's the most pleasure you have is watching one of your friends. I know some people disagree. Shaz
no one
disagrees.
Such
disagrees.
a fucking comedian thing to say.
No,
He was like,
everyone loves to watch their buddies shit the bed.
It's hilarious, especially when you know they're telling good jokes that you know are good jokes. Like they work everywhere, but then this night they're just eating shit. This guy's losing, and he's losing his confidence up there, and he's just like starting to flop sweat. That's hilarious, Like there's no way you're not.
And they
The back of the
speed
room
talk.
where the comics are going to be laughing because they're going to enjoy it so much.
Yeah.
and the best part about it is it's inevitable. You're
Well, it happens to
going to
everybody.
fucking bomb.
Yeah.
There is always a chance we'll have a bad show.
Oh yeah, we always have off nights.
Yeah, the bad shows, it's just what you do with them, right? The bad shows, it's like whether you learn from it or you just
Exactly.
crumble and let it break you, right?
That's the thing that makes you better.
Yeah, and you have to. The only way, like I always think, comedy's like you guys learning your chords on stage in front of people, like learning to play a song in front of people. That's how you learn a joke. The only way to learn it's
Freebird.
I knew a comic. I knew a comic that bombed every night 4 years straight.
And then did he quit, or
And no, they'd show up. You say their name 3 times, they'd fucking show up, like Beetlejuice, and people would put them on, right?
Yeah.
To torture the crowd. I don't know why, but
Yeah.
but the thing was she had to find her voice. I've already said it's a girl.
Yeah.
And now a lot of comics liked it because the crowd was so shocked that didn't know what the fuck. And so comics were laughing over the reaction of the crowd. But she's found her voice now, I think.
Yeah.
And
But sometimes
she gets
it really
laughs because people know she's crazy.
That crazy laugh, yeah.
Yeah.
There was this girl I worked with in London, and she used to pretend she shit in a pizza box. She would bring a pizza box on stage, and she'd wear like wacky glasses, and like she would like be like, that was her act was like
Shit in a pizza box.
always wacky, you know, and lots of props and like things to make you know she's funny because she's wearing a costume of some sort, which is really like
that
comedy
hack?
101.
Is
I
that
guess.
hacky?
That would be the definition of hack, I
I
think.
figure
yeah.
that's a fucking hack. That's
Anyways,
like,
she just got arrested for arson.
hey, there you
Makes
go.
sense.
Yeah, now she's in jail.
Crazy.
That's like the,
Serious crazy. You got to perform with like serious crazy.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
There isn't a far leap from burning someone's house and shitting in a pizza box.
No.
Really.
No.
It's not that far of a stretch.
Publicly shitting in a pizza box. Like
Just
like
one bad day.
yeah. Yeah, like on stage, it was a mime shit in a pizza box. She didn't actually shit, but produce the shit. She just pretended to shit in a pizza box.
Yeah.
But still, if you're the type of person that pretends to shit in a pizza box and you think that's comedy, you probably will not think twice about burning something down because you're angry or something. Yeah. She's
Bad pizza.
But I mean, like you're like in comedy, you have to put yourself up with some crazy fucking people like that you like, and they keep coming back, and no one's nice to them because you don't want to be nice to like the shitty people, right?
Yeah.
Do you guys have that politics in music?
Yes.
Like, do they have other bands that are like, you haven't paid your dues yet, or whatever? Why are you on
It's
this?
less so of
Or
that.
Are you getting more gigs than me?
I find it's less so than that. There's a lot of, and my man over here who went to Humber, I don't know your name.
Kevin.
Sorry, Kevin. Kevin over here. He'll attest to this. There's a lot of dick measuring when it comes to chops.
Oh,
like
yeah.
your technical ability.
Yeah.
Right? There's a lot of that. Less so, I find, around here, thankfully. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's a decent community of musicians.
This is
In
actually,
Norfolk?
interestingly enough, I'll tell you, I've played music many a place. This is so far the most like communal, enjoyable place.
The Dutch Hall?
Yes.
No, but I agree. Like
where no one gives a fuck.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And a lot of times, I think a lot of people around here kind of miss what's going on because it's actually there's a lot of cool shit going on.
There's
Like,
a lot of
there's
great
people
stuff.
playing good music and stuff. Like
The big thing about Norfolk is that it's such a welcoming community to music, right? It's nice. You can go play whatever you
Sometimes.
want, have fun. Yeah, sometimes. If you're Eddie Van Halen.
Some
But-
people just want to hear like their favorite radio song, which is fine. But to answer your question, I think, and feel free to jump in if you guys agree, I think a lot of the politics stuff comes from like the interpersonal relationships between other bands. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh, I heard Buddy, the guitar player in so-and-so band, is upset with the drummer in so-and-so band. And
Oh,
this
yeah.
and that. And it's this pretty fucking small community.
So you hear
kind of
those
know,
little,
like, I recently heard
gossip.
a rumor about a person in a band who, like, you know, ran away and left the country, left the band for some crazy, you know, I won't go into details. But
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know, you hear shit like
hear
that
gossip,
along
yeah.
the way. You hear that's about as far as it goes, as far as I've managed to see.
Yeah, we've been lucky to have a few acts in here from locally, and they've all been like, a lot of them have been like awesome. Like
Yeah.
most of them have been great.
Good dudes.
Yeah, most of them have been good dudes,
Yeah,
except
they
for the
need-
ones that got sent to us from this other place, like in Tilsonburg.
Tilsonburg?
Yeah, if they
That's
sent us from
why.
Tilsonburg, yeah, we haven't had much luck. From
Does it
Tilsonburg.
involve pizza or?
No.
No. Okay,
Those,
good.
they got a bad attitude out there in
Yeah,
Tilsonburg.
Tilsonburg, yeah.
They think they're better than us.
Uh-oh, he's beefing with Tilsonburg.
Yeah, bring it on, bring it on, Tilsonburg. Bring it on, Tilsonburg.
You
I'm
heard
not
it here
afraid
first,
of you.
cocksuckers.
Yeah, we're not afraid, Tilsonburg.
Norma Jeans in Tilsonburg, or what was it before? What was it before that?
Was it the Royal?
The Royal, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
we have actually.
I've
haven't
seen
done a
Sloan
gig in
there.
Tilsonburg,
Yeah.
though. We haven't played in Tilsonburg.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you open for Sloan? Yeah, cool.
We haven't played Tilsonburg.
Yeah, I've only done it once.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm invited back.
We play. We're playing. You know what? We play Brantford. We play Brantford a great deal. We play Two Doors a lot. Two Doors Down on Market Street. I really like that venue.
Oh yeah, in Brantford.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah,
I
we've
don't know
got
if
a
it's
show
today.
coming up there.
Yeah,
Oh, good. Plug
we're
it.
We're playing March 17th, St. Patrick's Day.
There you go.
Hey,
Starting
thank
at
you for the
10
Guinness,
o'clock.
by the
Yeah,
way.
man, I brought Guinness to celebrate.
St. Patrick's Day at Two Doors Down. In
Yeah.
Two doors down, Brantford. I think it's 139 Market Street. We're playing with Bad Reed, local Brantford heroes.
And any cover to get in?
I think it's $5.
$10.
No, $10. Sorry, $10.
$10.
We're expensive.
Cheap as
$10 to get in, but it goes
St.
toward
Paddy's Day.
food for
Yeah.
me,
yeah, exactly.
beer for him. you
and,
know.
and a good time on St. Patrick's Day. You can't beat it.
It's a lot of really good music for $10.
Yeah, no shit.
Bad Reed is the shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bad
they're
Reed
dope.
is so good.
So we start at 10 o'clock. So if anyone wants to come out, check us out.
Sweet.
Have something to do for St. Patty's Day.
That is sweet. And you know what we're going to do? One thing before we go, because it's International Women's Day, I want to turn to my friend Chris Pick, and I want to talk to him for a minute. Chris, you're a man of the world. That's why I bring you in here. I don't bring you in here for my health. I bring you in here because you're a man of the world. You lived a life that I didn't live, Chris.
I know.
You've been everywhere. You've done everything, right? When I need to ask someone that's worldly, I ask Chris Pick. That's what I do. Chris Pick is International Women's Day. I need to know about women. All I know is my wife. She's a wonderful woman, right? So we'll do that first. Let's give the women a compliment. Women are better than men.
Oh,
we
they
all know
are.
that.
Totally.
Yeah, they're better than us. We get it. We watch the Oscars. We're pieces of shit. We get it. You know, I'm a white man. I'm garbage. The Oscars taught me that. Now, that being said, women are great. Can you tell me a story? Now, not every woman is great. We have to admit that.
No.
Not every woman is great. You know, sometimes you'll date a woman. You're like, this is a woman of my dreams. I'm going to marry her and have a couple kids, and I'm going to build a life. Other women, you're like, this is the worst woman I've ever met in my life. Right?
Yeah.
Do you have any examples of a terrible woman that you would want to warn me from should I ever become single?
I dated a girl once, lived with her, short time, like 6 months. Knew her for 6 months, and I just moved in with her.
Yeah.
And stayed there for 6 months, and it was my birthday.
Yeah.
And she wanted to cook me something, right? And it was a lasagna. Now, a lasagna pan is rectangular, and noodles are like to go the length. She was breaking them in half, right? And laying them crosswise.
You're
And
an idiot.
well, yeah, and I was a dumb guy at this time, and I'm not going to let that shit fly on my birthday while she's cooking my fucking birthday dinner, you know? So I said something no man should ever say, is that's not how my mom makes it. Right?
Oh, no.
See all the married guys? Yeah, you know you're in fucking shit, right?
Wow.
So then she made some fancy cheese instead of using just ricotta and cottage cheese together. She did this fancy thing. And I was hacking on her. I was like, that's not how my mom makes it. If you're going to make me a birthday dinner, make sure it's...
And my mom's standards.
Yeah.
Like how
right?
Mama did.
Yeah. So I think it was baking for about 2 hours and 25 minutes. And I said, why you keep opening up the oven? It's not going to get done.
Yeah.
And she opened it up and threw the molten lasagna at me, and it stuck to my face, burnt my face. Wow. Now, this girl, you never want to date a girl that likes to throw shit, is what. Now, this story leads to the big whopper of the finale.
More good food.
Yes. So, you know, she ended up cheating on me, which is reasonable because I was a bit of an asshole at the time.
Yes, yeah.
And she walked in the door, and the best thing to say as a guy when a girl walks in the door from cheating on you is, how was he? And I thought she was cheating, but she really wasn't cheating. But anyways, we'll call it cheating.
Like Bill
She wa-
Clinton cheating?
No, she wasn't even cheating.
Oh, yeah.
I was just being an asshole, really.
Okay.
She walks into the bedroom, which was dark, and I'm standing in the kitchen, which is lit. And I see her like do one of those bobs, like bend her knees and then throw something at me. And this wet thing smacked me in the side of the head while she pulled out her tampon and fucking chucked it at me and smoked me with a 8-hour used tampon.
Oh, 8
Heavy
hours.
day, heavy day.
It's a lot of
like
hours.
a red rat flying through the fucking air. A red, wet sewer rat flying through the air, smacking me on the side of the face. And she says, "Do you think I would cheat on you on the reg?" And I wish this story had a better ending.
No.
We ended up breaking up when she held the knife to me and everything. Yeah, there was a knife
So
involved.
you went through a couple of incidents where you decided to stick it out, eh? Where you're like, okay, first she burnt my face with lasagna. Yeah, it's still a place to live.
Yeah.
Then you're like, then she like fucking threw a tampon at me. And then you're like, oh, that's cool. And then what was the one that broke the
knife.
camel's back? The knife.
The knife. When she was talking to me angrily, like, that's not a word, but she was fucking mad at me. And she was swinging the knife. And I was like, we're seconds away from this thing coming flying. And if you back check her record, she likes throwing shit, and she had the knife. So the odds are the knife was coming at me. And I said, that's it, I'm leaving. Grabbed my green army bag, threw it at the front door. She set down the knife and then bear hugged the army bag, said, "You're not leaving, you're never leaving."
Oh, wow.
And then I had to sneak out at night.
You must have a big dick.
Nope.
Hey.
No.
Girthy.
Did you?
Not even that.
Did you Did you do the army crawl?
No army crawl. It was just like spike her drink with something. She drank a lot of
She
shit.
gave her the hot
and then
Cosby.
Get the fuck out of there.
Gave her the old Cosby.
An old pudding pop.
Yeah. But she's my friend on Facebook now.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Time heals all wounds.
And she's a good girl.
Happy
She's
Women's
good.
Day.
We were both at crazy.
Happy Women's Day, everybody.
On that note,
we'd like to thank the Jesse Murphy Trio, Chris Pick,
Thank you
Kevin
so much, guys.
Belanger for doing our sound. We'd like to thank everyone for listening. And we'd like to thank, if you'd like to, give us some feedback at livefromthedutchhall@gmail.com or Live from the Dutch Hall on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or Dutch Hall, Snapchat. You know the
All that
routine.
shit. The
All
whole
that
web.
stuff. Until next week, we will see you, NT. See you next Thursday. All right,
fellows.
we did
Well
it.
done. Well done. Woo!
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
All right.